Ich war kein Football-Cast, we're here to light the fire. Stating facts and stats, you know we never tire. Bringing the heat up, and action won't retire. Busting through the mic, our voices never expire. We ignite the spirit, never fading out. Light the torch, USC fans rise up high. On this podcast, we aim for the sky. Knowledge and entertainment never lie. Together we stand, let the truth amplify.
What's going on, Trojan fans? Welcome back to another live episode of the Light the Torch podcast. So get on in here. We got a lot to talk about. We got some Oregon fans to clown on, so we'll get to some of that. But we do have some heavy news to talk about a little bit here. But let me go ahead and first introduce the boys. We got Mr. B. Jones in the middle. How's it going, B. Jones?
Right on.
Right on. And then we have Mr. Gun Atterbury, the views from the stands, the leader of our Twitch channel. How's it going, Guns?
Doing good. Fight on.
All right. So first off, we want to start by saying rest in peace to Kyron Lacey, wide receiver from LSU. He just recently passed away, and we definitely want to send our thoughts and prayers out to Kyron's family and friends out there. And it's definitely never a good thing to have happen to someone who's so young, who had a lot to live for. And you just got to remember that if you're going through some tough times, that things will get better. So just got to push through. But at this point, we'll just do a brief moment of silence for him. And go start. All right. So everyone out there, go ahead and give their thoughts and prayers out to them, and wish them all the best for everything. So, but we're going to move on to some other things that are not also USC news here, or a lot of people want to say it's USC news, even though we already know it's not USC news. But Mr. Nico Iamaleava. So, thoughts on Nico Iamaleava leaving his apparent, like, he had a great NIL deal going on to Tennessee, and he was supposed to be the one that's taking them to the promised land. So, but what are you guys' thoughts about him leaving, B. Jones?
I got mixed feelings about it. I get him wanting to stay, on top of the market, but I think the timing is just a little interesting. If you're gonna pull that move, that's something that probably should have been done during the winter, because everyone knows you take your quarterbacks during the winter portal session, right? So I don't understand that move from whoever is handling this situation. I think they could have screwed him up pretty much. I mean, we'll see where he lands, man, but it's definitely interesting. But as far as us being involved in this, there's no involvement. Like, no, I don't know why these sites that don't even cover SC always want to link SC to stuff. Everyone who covers knows that we're not going that route. So
yeah, makes no absolute sense. Thoughts, Guns?
Yeah, very fascinating situation. Timing is very interesting. I mean, literally like a day or two before your spring game, and the end of spring practice for you. So, it sounds like, from what we've kind of heard, that this was kind of started late in the winter portal where he wanted to up his NIL deal. So, very fascinating, like how it just didn't get resolved from winter portal to even now. That's a couple months. So hope all the best. They'll definitely find a situation that will be a school that will pay him, but like Vujon said, it won't be us. So
yeah, see, like everyone else is saying, it definitely, it's just the timing just why wasn't your team doing this at the end of the season? Like, it makes no sense to have to do this. You're going to be going into another team like really behind. Even a walk-on quarterback is going to have more knowledge of the offense going into the summer and the fall camp. It just makes no sense, and shame on his whoever's on his team for doing this. Like, you guys should have known better. Like, you're clearly trying to take advantage of what happened with Carson Beck, but Carson Beck actually did it I wouldn't say properly, but he did it early enough, and he got his $4 million bag from Miami. And I just don't like, people just want to link him to USC is because he's a California native. So of course that's the first place that you're going to link him to, and of course Lincoln Riley is the quarterback whisperer, so it just makes sense. But maybe 3 months ago, it makes sense. 3 or 4 months ago.
Well, that's the thing. That's what's very interesting to me, because this is something that's been rumored for quite some time.
Yeah.
You guys remember, I'll say it's been some months now, right? We might have mentioned it on the show, actually.
I think so, yeah. Right as soon as the season ended.
Right. So I don't know why they thought it'd be a good idea to pull the trigger now instead of then. I don't know, the thought process behind that, but it's very interesting, man. It's leaving him in an interesting situation, man, where I think for sure he could have, been picked up somewhere easily, maybe even here. But I don't know, man. We'll see how everything plays out.
See, I was talking to you guys about this before, and like, I'm not for it at all, but just devil's advocate is that he kind of has the same stats as like a Will Howard when he came out of Kansas State, and I would say he has a little bit more upside than Will Howard would have. So, like, if this was maybe during the December spring day, I would say we should take a look at him possibly, but now it's way too late. We already have the team is bought in on everything here. It's just I'm happy with Jaden Mayava. I know a lot of people are not, but I don't see that many USC fans really out there saying go after Nico. Not that much. And real quick shout outs to our guy Christian Ragland. Really appreciate showing the love here. So but yeah, like Kristen, what do you think about this? Let everyone let us know in the chat what you guys think about this. If this was at a different time, would you have done it? Or if it was a cheaper bag, then maybe.
Right. Not even just a bag, man. I just think that if we were to pull that plug, I mean, to make that move, I feel like we'll be right back in the situation we were in last year, where we have a quarterback who has no chemistry with the wide receivers, is still trying to learn the playbook. You know what I'm saying? It just be starting all over again. When we're not in a position to do that. Then what does it say for a guy like Husan Longstreet? Jaden will obviously leave. Hit the portal. It doesn't make any kind of sense for us to even go that route. Yeah. Which I'm glad we're not.
It doesn't, and everyone that keeps saying it, whatever. And I get what he's doing is wrong to his team, but some of the stuff that people are sharing about him, like, I don't know if you guys saw the whole the writing was on the wall or whatever when he came in, and like that was like I don't know what it's called in their culture, in the Polynesian culture, but he was in a certain get up for his Polynesian culture, and people just start saying, "Oh God, he's just like Caleb Williams," blah blah blah. It's like I don't know if you guys saw that. Did you see that?
I did, yeah.
Like, it's just tell me you're ignorant without telling me you're ignorant.
Right, man.
Like,
it's this a bunch of uncultured people who,
the stuff that people are saying in this is just disgusting. And this guy is a podcast person for the Vols. Like, this is just disgusting to be saying stuff like that. And I said, say you're ignorant without saying you're ignorant.
Yeah, man, it's just typical. It's typical for that area. Just very uncultured people, man, making ignorant comments.
Yeah, it's really upsetting. And like, I want him to succeed. He's a Southern California kid, and it's just I think his team is failing him in this. So, but wherever he lands, which a lot of people are saying that is gonna be UCLA. Hey, if UCLA wants to spend all their NIL in one area, have at it. But he has really no one to kind of throw to. So, where do you guys
That's
think
good.
Nico lands? Well, if it isn't UCLA,
Yeah, I think it's going to be UCLA. It's going to be that's fascinating though if it really is because his younger brother was a commit
committed,
at
yeah,
one time to UCLA, then ultimately flipped to Arkansas. So for like UCLA to get involved with the
Wait,
family again and whatnot,
he flipped to Arkansas.
yeah, late, yeah.
Oh,
I believe even like on signing
I
day,
thought
but
he flipped
definitely
to Tennessee.
no, yeah, definitely went to yeah. So it's gonna be interesting, but they're pretty much desperate, so
Yeah, because
can't blame
they
them.
got a portal guy, but sounds like they're not really happy
Uh,
with him.
I guess not. Yeah.
And I mean,
Uh,
it's kind of hard to pass up a kind of a guy like Nico. He has all the intangibles, so
What do you guys think of BJ's coming here?
it has to be a lot cheaper. Competition is always a plus. Still believe we need an insurance policy just in case something happens to Jaden. So we have Hassan, and then we also have Sam Heward. So I think we have insurance.
Right, that's what I'm saying. People like to forget, man. Sam was a former 5-star himself, so he's no slouch, man.
And he has playing time too.
Right, he has an experience. And then we have we saw Longstreet, like you mentioned, but we got Lincoln Riley. So if we say that Lincoln is the quarterback guru that that we all believe him to be, then we have to trust that he's going to have these guys ready to go.
Yeah.
Especially you have two
If we go
5-stars behind Jaden.
Yeah.
So sorry, go ahead.
If we go through 3 quarterbacks, that's just bad luck.
absolutely.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think we have insurance. I believe in Longstreet. If something happens to Jaden, even Hurd. So yeah, I totally understand. If it was a lot cheaper, it'd probably be more. I think the staff would look into it a little bit more, probably. But also, if the rumors are true, and supposedly Nico's trying to do a package deal with his younger brother as well. I'm totally off on that. I do not want to, hinder Longstreet's future and growth. So,
yeah.
if this is just a, one player package deal, then I would look into it more if it was cheaper. So,
And what do you guys think about how this kind of changes NIL and how people handle it now? Like, this is the first ever real holdout for NIL in college football. Like, sure, we kind of had one with Bear kind of ish. It was more of that he wasn't doing his end of the bargain. But it's just this is going to change a lot of things, I feel.
I'll say this: all the college football needs to be thanking Tennessee. They've been kind of they punched the NCAA in the mouth. Then this, what I'm saying? This is kind of setting the players straight now. Like, hold on, you're doing a little too much. Dial it back a little bit. So I think all of us, man, need to kind of tip our hats to Tennessee, man. They've been kind of setting everybody straight, man. To be honest.
Well, like, it's so interesting to see all the people that are okay with what he did and all the people that are not. Like, they're burning his jerseys, but then you see like coaches like which I'm surprised I agree with Mario Cristobal. Like what I forgot the clip that I sent, but he's like, you better be here and not trying to hold out, or you're going to be playing.
yeah, basically, say if you're gonna hold out, then play get out or something.
Yeah,
like
play
that.
get out. Yeah, so like I'm all for that. Like I'm all for these players getting paid, but they're really treating this like the free agency of the NFL, and it's getting pretty bad at this point.
Oh, forgot to mention though. I gotta ask you guys. Now, I don't know how true it is. It came from a message board, but I was told, or I read, that Dan Lanning was the snitch. Please give me your thoughts on that one.
That Dan Lanning actually reached out,
Yeah.
told what's his
Yeah.
name, Josh Heupel.
Yeah, I see both sides. So I mean, like, I guess from Hupel's standpoint, I mean, I would want somebody to let me know instead of being caught off guard. However, I mean, Dan Lanning is the king of tampering, right? Basically, so it's like it's very hilarious and funny that he came out and, like, let him know. So
I'm going to do my best Raul Flores kind of impression. That's a bitch move. Actually, that's just not even Raul. That's just me. That's a bitch move. To openly tamper right in front of, like, say, hey, I'm going to tamper with your guy. And there's nothing you can do about it. That's basically what happened. If that's true, that is messed up. I would feel some type of way if I was Josh, and if somehow I played Oregon again, or if I ever played Oregon, there would be some fist flying towards him. It would be another version of like the handshake with Pete Carroll and John Harbaugh, or Jim, whatever Harbaugh it is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, guys, you may know, but what is Oregon's involvement in this? Does it sound like they're pursuing it all?
If they did,
no.
That'd be sad.
Yeah, if they do, I mean, I think it's a total bitch move. I mean, if he literally did tell Josh, hey, this guy's shopping around, and then ultimately he goes to Oregon, like the guy just basically is like, fuck it, why try to hide this? I'm just gonna tell every coach now that your kid's getting shopped around, and I'm just gonna take them. Like, that's just wild. But
yeah, I don't know. I just hope that this doesn't start a trend, because it sounds like it's gonna start a trend.
Well, it sounds like the coaches are ready to start their own trend. So,
yeah,
man, that's dead.
What do you think about the people who say, "Oh, then you should be getting mad at the coaches for not sticking to their contract, blah blah blah"? If you're going to get mad at the kids for doing this, blah blah blah. What do you guys think about that?
I'm not mad at the players for asking for more money. Like I said, he's just trying to be at the top of the market again, of course, and they just didn't feel like he was worth it. Cool. But that has nothing to do with the coaches.
Yeah, but the whole situation, people be mad at the coaches too.
Say that one more time.
Like, because I think it was Adam Brenneman actually saying that you should be mad at the coaches, just as mad at the coaches for taking other jobs. If you're going to get mad at these kids for trying to hold out to go to another school,
that's not the same.
I got to find the clip about it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, technically, right, the coaches have contracts. So I mean, like, to me, they're kind of abiding by their contract and then moving on. Like, I think the whole issue is again not the players, right? Like, we understand the players deserve the money and whatnot. It's like the structure, right? There's no structure, so
yeah,
it's just the wild west, and like these agents or the people talking to these players are just they're abusing the system, essentially. I would say, compared to the coaches.
I blame Oregon for all this, for overpaying players, because it's just like they're the kings of. Real quick before I go forward here, shout outs to Brian K. Jenkins for becoming a YouTube member. Appreciate it, man. But yeah, like, they are the king of overpaying players. They will overpay a player because they can, but like
well over market value for sure.
Yeah, like they will, if they want the guy and they will overbid. They will pull a Price is Right and do 1001 instead of what the previous person did, which was 1,000. So yeah, that's good. Nice. But yeah, like Oregon has nowhere to be talking if they're like, oh, we're not going to overpay for a player. Shut up. And it'd be funny if he ends up at Oregon though, because like they just got a transfer quarterback. They legit cannot develop their own quarterbacks. They can't. They can't develop shit. They're just going to take everything from the portal, and it's just pathetic.
Yep.
But yeah, so let's see what Kristen said here. Coaches are on contract. When they leave the school they left, typically get a buyout from the new university. The kids leave school, gets nothing, and lose their investment they paid into. In all honesty, I think NIL needs to be an incentive-based situation, but it's not because, like Gunn said, it's a wild, wild west. Like, didn't we have Bear on like an incentive kind of NIL? Like if he hit certain marks or whatever.
I don't know about that.
Oh. Like
Not sure the details.
it really needs to be incentive. Like freshmen should not be able to get a certain amount of money right off the bat. Like what was his initial NIL when he first got there? I thought, weren't people saying like he was getting 10 million or something like that?
No, the rumor was 8, so I'm assuming probably because he was getting two mil a year, 2.5. So I'm assuming that's over the course of his, tenure with Tennessee. But yeah.
All right, enough about this here. Let's get into some actual USC stuff that actually involves us and not some rumor BS here. But Oregon is the virus of college football. Nice, they are. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's go. Actually, do we have any recruiting updates, Guns?
Yeah, we have a few updates. Absolutely.
All right, go ahead and hit us with some updates.
Yeah, so I mean, starters. Tom officially shuts down his recruitment. If you talk to some Oregon insiders out there, it's still not done. So we'll see. We'll see if he actually shuts it down. Even though, again, he just announced it. And we'll talk about that more, I'm sure, right after the rest of this information. But Xavier Griffin, we talked about him visiting Tennessee. He visited Texas. And there was a funny little, nugget on this is that when they were doing, pictures with the coaches, he tried to put up the fight on sign, the V sign, and during the picture, but the coaches wouldn't allow it. So, I mean, he's still, all lovey-dovey basically about USC if he's, pulling up the fight on sign and whatnot. So I think we're still in this, and obviously we'll just have to, let him do his visits. A DB and a recruit to watch out for. A DB out of Mission Viejo, 26 DB, Jerron Jones, excuse me. He visited over the weekend, I believe, and Bowden was on him right away, got him into his car and is really trying to get him to commit. I don't believe he has an official visit set out. But he's a versatile DB. He's got like 11 picks over his high school career, so he's definitely a ball hawk. So watch out for him as a potential underrated kid that we can get. 13. So 13 is the current number of recruits that we will add on to our class as of right now. So 22 plus 13 equals 35. So 35 is currently the official number for our 26 class. I do anticipate this to probably, fluctuate and go up and down. But definitely, that's what we're hearing as of right now. And then lastly, we don't talk about 27 kids a lot, but since he's kind of in my backyard, I got to mention him. Keep an eye on Noah Roberts. He's a 27 running back. The kid's special. He was played varsity as a freshman, and when I watched him, He was a dog basically. So we emerged as a top team after his visit. We'll keep an eye on that. Obviously, as we get closer to 27 class, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of schools involved with him. But excited to see that he enjoyed his visit, and we're definitely a top team. So yeah, that's it for me. And questions, and I'm sure we'll mention Tom.
Yeah, definitely leave your questions in the chat, and we'll try to get to them here. But as Guns started off, that Tom has officially locked it down, and he says, "I'm staying home. There's no other place to be." And then we already know what some Oregon insiders keep saying is that, he may sign, but blah blah blah. Shut up. Like, I know you have to keep your cult like happy and everything, but it's just like why are you openly being delusional? It makes no sense.
Yeah, I just find it hilarious. Like they just got to keep the narrative going. I guess if that's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I mean, look, if you guys don't think he's not completely shut down, then your kids that have shut down recently, then I'm gonna assume that they're probably gonna be looking at other schools too. Like you can't just have one side, right? It's just it's fascinating the narrative that they have to keep going on with over there. So
did he have any official visits already still left?
Tom?
Yeah.
No, I don't believe so.
So he took all his officials?
Oh, he didn't even take any of his officials. Yeah, he said he's just going to visit USC. He's just going to, told all the schools.
He was at USC,
bye-bye.
He was actually living at USC pretty much all last week.
Basically, it seemed like every spring practice we had, he was always there. So
yeah,
that's always great to see.
You'd always see Scott Schrader's showing a picture. Oh, Tom back at USC again for the third day, the fourth day, the fifth day. He might as well just have his dorm already set up for him.
Right.
Yeah, listen, we did everything we were supposed to do as far as sealing the deal. We just put it to you like that.
So Preston says that Waffle Kid out of New Jersey looks pretty nice. You know who he kind of reminds me of?
Cushing.
Well, yep, another player that came from Jersey, Brian Cushing. And hey, like I forgot the interview that he said that when he first took his visit to USC, his parents didn't want him to go there, but he's like, I like what Pete Carroll's doing. Like, he looks like he's having fun, and that was the reason why he ended up going to USC and becoming a USC great. So, but he definitely looks the part. He's a big dude. He's like 6'4" or something like that. So
he's a high riser. I know we kind of. I'll say it. We kind of made fun of him just a little bit. I wouldn't say him, but just the rankings. He became a non-ranked to a top 20 player. So it was pretty fascinating and interesting how that happened. But the kid's tape's not bad. Kid's looks pretty nice. And he was with two other edge players as well, or recruits, I should say, over the weekend. Tristan Givens, who has recently put us in his top 4 out of Georgia. And then there was a Florida kid, last name Henderson. So we'll see if maybe one of them, pops out. We're looking at one more, from my understanding, one more edge player. But yeah, definitely, I'll take any of those 3 options. As well as, like KJ Ford. I know we've been on him recently out of Duncanville, which we're still in good standing. So it's going to be interesting who that last person is going to be.
These players are going to need to commit soon, because if 13's the final number, like, right, if you want to be a part of this, you don't have much time, because I'm sure Chad is going to be on these people and make sure that they get committed. And then the moment they do commit, he's going to make sure that they're locked in with USC. And then there's no room left for you to join on. Maybe if he really wants you at that point, he'll expand those numbers. But at this point, if they're telling you to commit or we'll move on to the next person, you better think wisely.
Yeah, I think the two most fascinating positions in terms of our 26 class is the edge and the DB room. I mean, there's a lot of options on both of those, and it's like who's going to commit first, because
the trigger.
yeah,
because we're on Sean Scott now, Luke Waffle, and Tristan Givens. And you said the other one. I can't remember. I don't know who the other one is.
Scott, we're looking at as an inside backer, though.
Oh, so he is, like, everything else is telling me that he's going to be edge. So it's just.
Well,
yeah, Scott's an inside. Yeah.
What was that?
Well, if you listen to it, sorry, windows open. But if you listen to his current coach, just did an interview with USCJ. He actually mentioned that he's a guy who can play both. So
yeah, we're going to be losing Eric Gentry and everything. So. But yeah,
I anticipate him to be a Trojan when he announces his commitment. Sounds like be in the near future. He's probably just kind of crossing his T's, dotting his I's type of situation. So yeah, I'm excited for that one.
I kind of want to know what the spread is going to be like of who, like the 13 players that we're going to be having. Like, is it going to be more offense or defensive?
Well, we definitely probably need. I mean, probably a couple O-line, maybe a couple wide receivers, one more edge guy. Probably need three linebackers. I'm getting close to the 13 already. So yeah, I mean it's gonna be fascinating in the coming weeks and months.
Well, speaking of linebackers here, I guess, do we want to segue into the spring updates here? So I'm just going to play you a quick little clip that we have going on, courtesy of USC Football Twitter here. Midnight Alley, Mr. People that you guys should know, like an upcoming riser within the spring practice, Jaden Walker, linebacker, freshman, or redshirt freshman now. He made a huge impact here. And that was G-Day right there. Who was the other one? Who's number 30? Do we know who number 30 is?
No,
but no, I'm enjoying all these clips that they're posting from the spring practices here. So, Guns or B Jones, who are some people that are starting to rise up the ranks, or people that we should know and that are making splashes?
Well, you can start with that one right there, Jaden Walker, man. You remember we did our linebacker breakdown. We mentioned him, but we didn't really have too much on him. We heard that he could play. You watch his film; it's very similar to Desmond Stevens' film. If you remember, watching his film in high school, they're very similar to me. And now you see him starting to rise. Now I think he just needed to put on a little weight, and he did that. And, now he's acclimated to the speed of the game, and now he's looked like he's starting to shine, man. So I should see how that goes and going into the season and what we do in the transfer portal. I still think we should at least go after one more body, which sounds like we will be. Just for depth purposes and nothing else.
Yeah, and I do apologize, Sam. That is your boy Marquise Gallegos getting in there. So shout outs to Marquise for getting in there. So, and Preston for pointing that out to us. But
I thought you were talking Offense. Good.
Yeah, the offensive player that was wearing 30 was King Miller.
Oh, there was 230s in there.
Yes, 230s was the
I
running
didn't-
back and
Yeah, I thought that's what's up.
Marquise. Yeah,
Okay, Marquise was the white jersey 30.
correct. You are correct, sir.
So, but yeah. Who else has been making some waves? Guns.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about him before, but I mean, I keep hearing Christian Pierce. It's definitely somebody that is balling out so far in the spring practice. So it's going to be fascinating to see, we kind of talked about it in the chat. I mean, the DB room can be very special and whatnot. Like, could have three safeties on the field at one point. Him, Kamari, and Fitzgerald. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'm definitely excited to hear about Christian Pierce. I know B. Jones is. That was definitely his guy once we got him. So yeah, excited to see what we can do in the fall.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm excited to see some of these freshmen as well, like Alex Graham, Tristan Castro. Seen some clips of Tristan out there, and Alex Graham has been in some clips with Jacoby Lane, one of the ones that he was in good position. Actually, he was in good position, so I can't knock him. And some people want to say it's offensive pass interference too, but who knows?
Yeah, I do think it would probably get called. I mean, he was grabbing that face mask.
Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
But hey, it's practice. Still great play regardless. But I mean, like you talked about freshmen. I mean, I'm hearing Corey Sims. Kind of the limited wide receiver depth right now with Lemon a little banged up and whatnot. He's showing out, doing some things. So excited to see what his growth can be like in this offense. Maybe he can be in rotation. I think we're going to be looking at a wide receiver. I definitely think at least one. Hopefully it's Emmett Mosley. The Stanford transfer, Trent Mosley's brother. So yeah.
Didn't he just take a visit to UCLA?
Probably. I am not aware, but I from what I've heard, he will be visiting us. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Should be interesting. But Corey Sims definitely looks the part. I can see him getting as the season goes down the road, that he'll start getting used to the speed of the game, and he'll get up to speed and start making some plays. So I can see him making some good catches down the road. So,
all right. Well, since I was going to mention another guy, but since we're on the topic of receivers, DJ, man, Xavier Jordan. I told you guys, man, he's going to be a guy. I told you guys, be on the lookout for DJ. He's going to do his thing.
We know.
We're not doing that today. Like,
oh my God! Why are you acting like that?
Everyone knows that I was the guy who mentioned DJ. Don't even try.
Okay. We have dudes everywhere. We're not trying to say that no one's gonna make any plays. It's just saying some people that they've been being talked about. Like Prince has been talked about before.
Yeah.
And I said him. So if you want to talk about him, don't go there because I said him.
All right. Someone else that definitely needs to be mentioned, Marcellus Williams.
Yeah.
Yes.
Marcellus has been doing his thing, man. So, which we expected. We saw a little glimpse last year, but this year he's come back bigger and stronger.
Don't go there, B. Jones. I said he was going to start.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Does anyone recall Blackie Chan saying that Marcellus is going to start?
Don't start with me.
Come on, Chad. I don't know about that.
Okay. I'm going to do some receipt digging.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for his growth. I feel pretty good with him, DeCarlos, Conley, DJ Harvey. I mean, those four right there is a pretty good mix. I'm probably leaving out, more, so apologies there. But I think that's a great start, and I'm getting more comfortable and with us not grabbing a DB, in the spring portal. I think that's something that we've talked about leading up to spring practice and whatnot, but I think we should just ride with the guys we got, honestly, in terms of the D room. I mean, I think what's going to help a lot is the experience with our safeties. I think they could definitely help out these corners a lot. So
it's definitely good. It's good that we have a lot of these players on the second year with Danton Lynn and Doug Belk in the same system. So it's definitely going to make a huge difference. And I feel like they're going to be doing a lot more closer to the line than they were last year. And I definitely see a more physical DBs off the line. I'm hoping so, at least, because it kind of hurt keep seeing them 10 yards off the ball.
Yeah, I'm excited to see a second year Lynn defense. I mean, so far he's only at UCLA for a year, and now this will be his second year. So I'm excited to see what that looks like in terms of the players and them. I anticipate them flying even faster to the ball and whatnot, and maybe showing a little bit more complex pre-snap views, whatever I'm trying to say. So excited to see what this defense looks like in year 2 under Lynn.
Yeah, we're finally in position with the defensive line, man, that we can disrupt some timing now.
No.
So I expect to see more turnovers, more interceptions, and more sacks. So, I mean, run stopping, we're pretty solid considering how light we were. We're pretty solid in the run game. So if you remember that UCLA team that Danton Lynn had, nobody's running on them, with Jay Toya in there. But we got 4 guys over 320 now. So I expect the same, if not even better results this year, man. So I expect us to have I don't expect it, but I said we can possibly have a top 10 defense this year.
It's crazy how we used to think that when we first got, who the previous guy who's not on the team anymore, we thought, oh, this guy's big, that this is the size that we needed. No,
right.
Like now we have the true size of the Big Ten of Ja Jarrett and Keyshawn Silver. So, and we haven't even really seen Keyshawn because he had surgery, so he's not going to. He hasn't really been in practice. So, but Ja Jarrett has been looking the part the whole time.
Dude's so big, man.
Dude is scary.
Yeah.
And then we also have Jakeem Little Jaw. If you haven't seen the Parasol interview with Ja Jarrett, they call Jakeem Little Jaw, which is crazy because the dude's 290, 6'6".
Right.
So if he's little, then yeah.
Yeah, and if I think DC will like this. Jakeem was talking to former Trojan Ronnie Lott.
Yeah.
After practice on Saturday, so yeah, a lot of the former Trojans are still coming along. Even I'm spacing the last name, but you remember the edge player that transferred from USC to Arizona? He kind of had the you know who I'm talking about?
His dad,
he actually was on campus for the.
He
was. He was on campus for practice Saturday, which is interesting. I know him and his father had some words of choice back in the day, but yeah.
Is he done playing football? Or
I believe so. I haven't seen his name. Yeah, Hunter something. Yeah. Oh,
Hunter Echols.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So, back to Ronnie Lott, man. If you ever meet Ronnie Lott, that dude is intense.
Yeah.
Still to this day, man. He does not play around. So, Jay Walker will tell you a story about when he was on the sideline, man. Yeah. But yeah, I expect he probably had one of those conversations with Jakeem, to get him fired up. I think just like Jakeem, I think that's all it takes for him. Yeah.
Yeah. So real quick, this is going back to maybe some recruiting stuff. But what positions do you guys anticipate the coaching staff will target when the spring portal opens? Now, see, I think we would have had a solid answer at the very beginning if things are still going that way. But I think things have kind of changed some opinions based off what coaches have been saying. So go ahead and give your thoughts, B. Jones, of where you think they kind of go after in the spring portal, if they do.
Honestly, the only position I would say is linebacker, man. I mean, that's the only one that's really been mentioned. Just that maybe add one more just for depth, if nothing else. So, I don't expect us to go crazy, of course, like we have been. I think we're pretty good. If you look at position by position group, I think we're solid everywhere, just lack the bodies in the linebacker room.
What about you, Guns?
Yeah, definitely agree. Linebacker. Wouldn't be mad. Maybe one more alignment from like a depth purpose and whatnot. One wide receiver would be nice. And again, I guess me really just Emmett Mosley. If Emmett Mosley's not the guy, then honestly I'm okay with the wide receiver group. But I mean, definitely linebacker is a big need. I think there's little spots in here. Maybe you can make a case, but yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't know. It's just hearing what they've been saying about Tobias Raymond makes me feel a little bit better at the right tackle. But it is, and then we also have Justin T to fill in for that. Maybe like guards, we're pretty happy with that right now at this point. So it's kind of hard to poke where we feel like we should add some more. Like, I mean, depth, yes, but we also still do have depth behind them, like Makai Benuelos. Also, we have some not rookies, freshmen. Alex, what's his name? Alex. He's the tackle.
Payne.
Alex Payne, yes, Alex Payne. So we have depth behind it. It's just maybe not the most experienced. So I really don't know linebacker at this point. And I'll make Guns happy and say a wide receiver so we can get Emmett Mosley. It would be great because he's a good wide receiver. It's not like he's a depth piece. He can come in and make an immediate impact because he had a really good freshman season. So we just at this point is probably linebacker, which is probably where we have the least experience when it comes to it. We have Gentry, Desmond, and then Anthony Beavers, and after that, where's the experience?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, that's the only thing I could see is just linebacker. But other than that, let's see. Interesting thing, though, I just saw that a California boy is going to be going to Wisconsin as a quarterback, Ryan Hopkins.
Yeah, he's a modern day quarterback, if I'm not mistaken. It's actually just pinged that to my buddies. They're definitely happy about it.
Yeah.
Good for them.
And he's a modern day guy, and he's a winner. So
yeah, absolutely.
And he's their starter right now, right?
From my understanding, yes. Mm-hmm.
Kind of interesting, but yeah, I don't know why you would choose Wisconsin. But yeah, what else do we got to be talking about right now? We've pretty much gone through everything that we really need to. Chat, is there anything that you guys want us to touch on? AZ Weedo says, I'm not sold on Wingfield or whatever his name is. DJ Wingfield. Isn't he projected to be our center?
No, he'd be our left guard.
Yeah.
I mean, I think issue is maybe we just haven't heard much about him, right? Like I don't even think he's done an interview. I could be wrong on that. Normally they let the new guys do an interview so we can hear about them and whatnot. But yeah, fascinating to see what happens with that. I mean, I feel good at center, feel good at right guard, feel good at both tackles. Regardless of who's going to be that person at right tackle. So
Yeah,
yeah, maybe like a swing guard slash tackle can help just from a depth and emergency perspective. Just in case Wingfield isn't that guy.
So Josh Gates has he says, I came in late. What's the running back depth chart? Think Wayman starts. At this point, what everyone is saying that he's living up to what he did in junior JUCO. I think he does start, but I don't think he just is the solo starter. I do think that there's going to be a lot of carries for B-Jack going in there, and Eli Sanders has a lot of versatility when it comes to coming out of the backfield as well, like in the slots. What do you guys think?
I mean, I think you pretty much hit it right on the head.
But Raul, we all know Raul. We already know who his starter is.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely a rotation that's going to happen there, right? I think Wayman, B-Jack, Eli. Definitely, I think they're going to have some carries, especially with Eli. I mean, you can move him around, as like a slot guy or whatnot. So, yeah, you just got to get that guy, give him the ball and let him do his thing type of situation, right? So, very, very excited. And even Lincoln has said he's very happy with the running back room compared to past, years and whatnot. So, maybe that's a tell that he's going to run the ball more. That's something obviously that a lot of us fans want. It'll help obviously the offense as a whole. So hopefully we see it.
Here's Jaden Walker again. Some clips have been going around for him, so who knows? Maybe we may not need another linebacker at this point. If they're really hyping him up at this point, I don't know. I'm seeing a lot more clips about him. So
yeah, even with Jaden Walker's emergence, I still think we need one more.
Yeah, but hey, we just know that the future is bright because they're really he's really taken to the position because he also played wide receiver too. I think he was a converted wide receiver to linebacker. So either way, I think that is probably what we'll end up doing as linebacker for that. So what else do we got going, guys? Nothing. Anyone in the chat have anything that we need to touch on? Rob Ryan is the man. Yeah, Rob Ryan. A lot of people have been singing his praise. So, and if you guys haven't seen any of the most recent Chad Bowden interviews, definitely go ahead and check them out. They're great. Apparently, one of the biggest quality of life things that he's done at USC is put new toilet paper in there. Apparently, Danton Lynn, we haven't really seen him joke around that much, but Dan Lynn said that that was the best thing he's done since being at USC is getting quality toilet paper. And Chad says he's doing his best at everything, small or large, at USC, whether it's toilet paper or to the best recruits. Everything matters. So
yeah, I thought it was kind of cool also. He doesn't really have an office. He just kind of he floats around, does his thing.
Oh, he doesn't have an office?
Yeah, he doesn't I don't think maybe might have somewhere he kind of puts his stuff down, but he doesn't have his official office. He just does, he works with everyone and just that's the way he likes it. He wants to show people that he's working. He's not just like some guy in the corner situation. So yeah.
Wow. Fight on from Indonesia. Really appreciate it, Derek. What time is it there right now, Derek? But
Oof.
yeah, what else has happened here? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So we'll definitely we'll start wrapping it up. But appreciate everyone showing up. Hopefully we have a lot more news next week. Is it next week the opening of Spring Portal?
Yeah, Wednesday when we do our stream will be the first official day of Spring Portal. So
We already know some people
strap up and get ready.
Josh Gates says any injury news on Lemon. I think Lemon has been coming back. He's
Yes.
back in practice.
Yeah.
Don't know if
I think
he's like
Marco-
is he full speed?
Not full speed
No.
yet, but it sounds like he
Yeah.
will be soon.
Yeah.
I know he was a pads, so that's
Not
always a
worried
good. Yeah, not worried about it.
Yeah, like he's already solidified his it's 8:25. So good morning over there. But yeah, other than that, we'll be back. Well, I'm sure we're going to have a lot of news for the Spring Portal. We already know of Marion Peterson jumping into the portal right now. Do we have anyone else have say that they're jumping in yet?
Not yet.
So just Marion. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm sure we'll find out some more stuff and keep an eye on our Twitters. I'm sure Light the Torch Twitter will have all the retweets out there from people going into the portal. But yeah, until next time, team, keep the torch burning bright. Fight on.